What year is this? What year is this?
Mr. Lynch, lives will be alive forever. Good morning, Mr. Massimo, eso simple. Mr. Massimo, eso simple. More simple, 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 more simple. Then, not the Lynch is the last month I should read the 14th and 9th. So no 79 years because adesso next time. No, vabbè, less than a month in January 20 sono usciti su BIS 80% solo 4 became 5 as a sum of 5 to 5 and 10 was the 0 and the 8 in fact 80%. Yes, it's December 31, so not only the last day of this December, so the first day of the year, so the last day of this year 2025 for the last time, you see. No, I see, we see 2025 and it's Wednesday in Naples. It seems totally clear. Yes, this is the 7 consecutive day, 26 since last Thursday. So we finish very well this year, and from this point of view, yes, and it also seems that now at the moment it's between late afternoon 14 and 14 and 20. Yes, 14 and 21 minutes. 48 and 2 Fahrenheit, 9 Celsius. This means that it's really cold, like in easy BIS fact. Qualificatie gadget to choose for the winter period support for SEGO. Yes, we can see effect the giant and 4 years last June 17 was fact to ready overcome for SEGO the parts regard last part summer. I absolutely don't remember if they follow any during last part summer. I think I'm worried. Also fact that we ready overcome so the full weather parts regard the autumn. Now also for the winter we overcome it. Infatti 10 days ago we entered in winter, be precise 16 and 3, 4 and 3 p.m. in Italy, and it's as perhaps some no remember think what was on board which I suppose he did. I'm sure. To where I see things on the same associated sometimes my proposal, in fact that we wish to watch minus. It's better no perhaps paradox or you to for me, but then just do the operation. Also for the spring and summer. You also in fact for the spring and use soft for the summer, for the autumn once again soft so that's for the season of years. Casicagli and as I get the degree, it is me most of things if you do that absolutely complain. At no, because it's considered the video, it's cold at when I see this sentence absolutely complain, I'm referring to me, si riferisce to me, in particular perhaps for this month, for the fact that thanks to a series of practices, do performance, some years particular do points of this particular two practices, I always try to fight the cold, welcome the winter, and cold period, I always try to fight the cold, and yes, and always, you know, in every winter period, the winter weather reports, I had another comment which I explain what the practice fact also a few days ago I had this comment, so if perhaps someone is interested to read this comments, you know what are the practices, they should be with an asterisk in the first comment, perhaps I also should edit another comment, it should be in first part of first point, first comment with an asterisk with it, where I don't know for this, for the first of the review, from a little think not because if you difficult from another link, from another little think of yesterday, 1995%, I think not difficult, I think 1995% difficult, but in general, in some way for me also good. Instead about the scattered situation, to say as if for sure, something is just for it's really beautiful, but this is in fact can be flipped, I'm not sure of this. Being I think that's what this is, it is just before 9:48 and 2 Fahrenheit, 9 Celsius. But the thing is something that ci vede. Just before today, yeah. It's beautiful. Yes, and even if it's not visible, because it's still behind the palaces. Now I'll see three things for later that came out as unengineered section in particular. First thing is that now I'll sing for the same exact better fragment, better the refrain from the classic Napoleon song. Sole mio, because I think it's became a bit of mine when last past summer, someone who remember if they followed me, think about it. Sono malato solo, più bello oh sola mia, sta in fronte a te, oh sola mia, sta in fronte a te, sì, sta in fronte a me, sta in fronte a te. Yes, fuck, musica di musica, sono bene, si continua, fuck, şu istasyone chiamato questo cosa c'è in senso di dare dentro che si poi la più dire che sono che sita quando di istasyone so che sita all'università viene til now e si rende video c'è già questo molto conseguito sono stato di octobre non avevo before perché te vorrei dire viene uno fra now le dem sono sky for radar pratica di 2 hours the alpha 35 minutes maximum less as 5 perisable the reference to completely finished rule when so series quindi new white curtain in flowers like flowers mix between the plants in new curtain system number one magari tengo solo birthday third in particular over the previous curtain beautiful che curtain beautiful winter branches but to per visiting the passage from the fact previous new curtain visiting later to matter si read one my comments in the comment section should be the point third in first comment the first comment where si read the comment section and then if you read in the dice receipt well of this shot and me think yes the green flowers non flowers mix between plants or if not even better surely better mi sarà shot pratica di questa parte of video which Perugia show to you weather is cut as in general from this window in this classic room in this classic window because sono the resource the other window in the other room. Or also from this other place a shot similar to the classic shot as in more than 30 seconds for the previous curtain between the bridges, perhaps also for the first curtain the story what regards the color the curtain if I don't remember exactly sure color curtain is still in cover image of channel sono inevitable one day shoot cingetto and this shot the story this effect buff when there isn't a glory shoot and also when there is but when there is because effect si measure non si vede it is special sentence that is used also si chiede presso pretending the curtain in the visual but the bench so si chiede perhaps also for the first curtain color the curtain also si chiede LED so it for this new curtain sorry but I repeat the expression also si chiede 3 4 5 times yes and this little picture sentence it is also always better visible for me in its entirety in this shot 3 seconds is mythical or legendary shot. zeker tegen een shooter nu optimisme, maar het is zeker optimisme, want het laatste die first days of last October, but it isn't important because I don't remember, but it's important all because sport is also not visible. Now I see I led the same suspicious senses for the routine. Also it because you're so wide, also for it to repeat once again, but also always better visible for me, its entirety, in this shot at this point is immediate or general shot. And finally, from the mythical keyboard Angelica 640 APG, 625, also mythical general shot. Ma ritenuto people non facendo le corsa e si lo chiede cantuario, non sono bene sistema. So to myself, to last the skiers. And finally, I hope you all gratta breakfast. That's late in general, also nas, frequency e ritmo for nas, at the ball importance that is for you for reveracci. Determinato sostituto si stanno facendo questa finta ne sono è certo vita. A ti finta parte a mettere se tu sei essere su finché tre regole se sembra che ti su straccio. Ora tu ripeto, ora tu il grosso di carriera, il to so so if I really to so mercy. And if I should say I think I never seen it before, fact actually for my hours, not the record, but for my hours in this period, it's not so late at all. It's a sort of normality, but from another late to have also late. This is a thing I never seen you before. But one day I experiment really better this thing. Infatti, in general, these things of related to my hours since some years, it's my late hours. Era just orolio, ovvero era just orolio, just un cute for 21 minutes. But the important thing to show is that in some way, also today, fortunately, I looked so I'm really hungry. And that's how we almost say. Breakfast sono mosse l'ultima sfora, assolutamente. Non sono senza minimo, aspetta. In this should be 1 year, I was also lost to continue like effect of X form reason on Friday, but yes, it is should be time in the for me so you had 1 day or 1 time so every time check better see you better this is the total which start to say these things and middle this speech and for sana no short so obviously you see giochi più su quello che matto mostroni messa insomma un osino fornito dal biscuit that my favorite fact there are many videos sul combo su biscuits and yes I think it one investing at the chocolate chip cookies cookies chips chocolate chips and for not mistake was for to biscuits in Italy but in particular there are two things that always read and this first one about the milk factor solution so only gets coffee was to sense quick chocolate factor sono just from short fragment videos so short and fast I think 6-7 months so he is also sto conto shape di time di period so I gotta check better se you was no more than quick because it finish now there is once in brought it once in I think only in 61 62 days so si lo sto conto mi sento dire sono da 50 su at the moment that the iPad insert it once in the milk so very good news e quindi se also effect di cosa breakfast quello sta bomba sta in particolare mega come se che se la stipire se gioco più quello che batto mostonia so questo mi fingo the first time se la dette video quindi pensando also consider tolla di cosa breakfast questo è bello as regards the second thing is about CS fact name federal BIS con Italian cereals per me sarà sempre preso position le magari team selette del modo day because 12 times like number of move at the first place of position for mineral PAM dark chocolate Italian cereals in fact was I do recommend them to because they are really super bad. Alcium, tomorrow I suppose bet in 2026, I suppose, if I don't die, perché no, until tomorrow 2026, what could,
Will happen.
ma è ovvio, sì. And if it's not visible, I repeat, but I see two things, but I repeat two things. That is, before, for last time, fact, Julie, Sashanti cannot be as best as Shannon, since fact it's impossible. Beautiful day like this, to visit, once again.